Hello everyone, this is Joel Davis with YouAreTheBroker.com, helping you to build a highly effective and highly profitable broker business. Let me start by congratulating all of our new licensees and all of you who are going through the actual process. I can't congratulate you enough. This is it's exciting for us and to have you on as licensees and team members and strategic partners. And it's an exciting opportunity for you because this has been a phenomenal business for me as you're going to continue to learn. So if you haven't got your training material as of yet, stand by. I'm sure that you're going to have it momentarily. I had a lengthy conversation with Lindsay. Many of you have been corresponding with Lindsay. Lindsay's one of our lead attorneys who is very much experienced, been working with a lot of different franchise businesses, helped us further create this business model, this licensee model. So I guess a lot of you have been corresponding with her back and forth, and the whole team has been approving licensees and everything, so that's great. So I had a lengthy conversation with her today over the phone, lengthy conference call, and I wanted to share some things with you. First and foremost, I wanted to answer some general questions because there's some questions about what all is involved once you become a licensee. And first and foremost, once we receive your information with your enrollment investment, you're going to, in the mail with your big packet, you are going to receive your signed copy, your copy of the license agreement that's going to be signed by us. So you're going to get that. You're going to get a box of DVDs. This set has 8 discs. So you want to make sure you watch them all in order. There's an introductory video. Obviously watch that first. And then you're going to watch discs 1 through 7. So there's a total of 8 in there. You are also going to be using this book. So you're going to follow along in this book. I don't know how well you could see this in the video. The camera's only so big and I have a large cranium. So you are going to want to follow the DVDs. When you're watching them, you're going to want to follow along in that training manual because I'm literally going to be walking you through line by line some key parts of our policies and procedures and overall how we set up this business. So you're going to want to follow that through. And also there's key information there that we will get you copies in Word format, so it's easy for you to customize and edit and tailor it to your specific broker business, as well as there's a lot of marketing material in there. Plus, along with the training book, you're also going to get this individual this is the advertising and marketing strategies. This is a single DVD. Now the training manual has a lot of our marketing stuff that we use for a lot of our stores, retail partners, things like that. But this is additional material. You will also, with that DVD, we got a bunch of marketing material that we're going to be sharing with you as well. A lot of marketing material that we're going to be sharing with you as well. Some that show how we set things up. Now everything that we share here is literally what we're doing right now. So as of right now, me making this video, a lot of this marketing material you're going to get is literally what we're doing right now, what we're advertising right now in a lot of the areas where we have our where we're building our broker business. So you're going to get the real deal, the current stuff. I'm just following through my notes here to make sure I stay on track, so stick with me. So you're going to get all that information. You're going to get copies of my website. I got a bunch of different websites, obviously. We have different websites now. What we did, here's where I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, because several months ago we went through and we started to edit and modify our websites, because I don't want people going to our website, seeing everything that we offer, and it kind of backdoors or undermines a lot of the proprietary information that we are not revealing. We're saving it for you, our licensees. So we actually had to go through and edit a lot of our websites so it doesn't backdoor or undermine the content that we're teaching to you as licensees. Now, if I was smart, I would have made copies of that before I went through and spent all that time, and I had Tom and some other people go through and edit the websites, because I'm not going to go through and do it right now, that's for sure. But anyway, so we made copies of the websites, and the reason why I'm not just sending you links to my websites is because I don't want people, we can't afford to have people circumventing the system and calling my people, because our phone numbers are obviously on our website, so people can call us, and we process a lot of work orders over the phone. And the last thing I want are licensees calling my people who answer the phones responsible for processing work orders, asking them questions that they can't answer or tying them up so they can't process work orders. Again, my broker business is still very much active and growing, and I'm going to continue to push it and grow it because we got a lot of opportunity here. So the reason why I made copies is so that you could see all my websites. They're all a little bit different, but they're all very, very similar. They all kind of share the similar content. You'll see a lot of the verbiage is similar between websites, but I shared one of them so you can get a good idea when you're building your website of what we have for our delivery and express moves. Again, if I was smarter and planned a little bit better, which I wish I did, I would have waited. I would have made copies of it before we deleted some of our other sources of revenue and advertising, so that way you get a better idea as a licensee. I just edited all that previously several months ago because I didn't want anyone backdooring our information and undermining the proprietary information that we are waiting and saving for you, the licensee. So you're going to get copies of the website, merchant account application stuff. You're going to get all of that, several pages. Now, do not be intimidated with this stuff. As I told you before, we literally have Carl and Adam from Merchant Services who are literally going to be reaching out to you, helping you get all that set up. As I mentioned before in previous videos, I encourage you to incorporate a new business, whether you use an LLC or I always recommend LLCs or S corps. Whichever one you prefer. LLC will probably be the quicker and the easiest, but regardless, let's get that done as soon as possible. Get your EIN, get your bank account done, because when you file this gateway stuff and you enroll with Authorize.net, you want to make sure you do it under a new business, because in the future, if you ever sell your home care or your NEMT business, you don't want it to conflict with this broker business. So Carl and Adam are going to be working with you on that. Also included, and this is outstanding, you have up to 1 year of coaching with one of my regional directors, and everyone. I have a good number of regional directors and a key number of them. I've obviously worked with them long term. They know what we're doing in detail. They're well versed. I feel very comfortable in assigning them to you, our licensees. So you have up to 1 year where you will be working with one of my regional directors. And again, each one of these guys have actually started out as a contractor, and that's why I want to leverage them and their experience, because if you have no prior experience dealing with contractors, at least in this industry, then they're key, they're clutch. So they're going to be an exceptional source of knowledge for you to lean on. But it's critical, and I know I mentioned this in previous videos, it's absolutely critical that they may reach out to you sooner rather than later just to make contact, introduce themselves over the phone. But it's critical that you guys really don't start your one-on-one work until after you've studied everything in the DVD series and the training material. So make sure you've studied all this stuff before you actually reach out to, before you actually start working with one of my regional directors. It's important. So here's a couple of things. Now look, here's the deal. Again, in talking with Lindsay today, I've made a bunch of different notes here, and some of our conversations getting caught up with people asking, I don't know if they were asking or accusing me of having a get-rich-quick scheme. Listen, if I was having a get-rich-quick scheme, I certainly wouldn't be going through all this, having my attorneys involved and lining things up with Authorize.net and our developers and regional directors. If this was a get-rich-quick scheme, I'd be telling you, hey, invest $19.99 or $20, $40, $50, and do everything online, no signatures, and I'd be promising you $10,000 a day in revenue, blah blah blah. So I can assure you, this is far from a get-rich-quick scheme. Let me talk about some of the benefits. Some of the benefits of this system. I'm even going to back up even further here, because I want you to clearly understand, if this was a get-rich-quick scheme, and you know how when you're dealing with those online nonsense. Everyone's trying to explain that their system is the world's greatest thing and how they've gone. They went from 0 to 60 in no time flat for $20, and you're going to make $1 million. It's autopilot. Go out front and get your mail and collect your checks. That type of deal. I would love to sit here and tell you that and make myself look like an absolute genius. Where in all actuality, I got to be honest with you, I'm far from a genius. Now, this is where God works in supernatural ways and puts people in the right place at the right time and opens up the right doors. If you'll recall from my previous videos where I talked about where I gained inspiration for this business, it was really through Dexter. Now, Dexter, I helped him years ago in the NEMT business, and it wasn't until he asked for my help in helping him make his two businesses, his NEMT and what was his niche moving business, where he was really helping a lot of the elderly people. That was his niche moving business. And when I started to help him and evaluate the two businesses, that's where I was overwhelmed and I saw the opportunity. So with that being said, for me to sit here and claim credit like I'm some type of genius, like I foresaw all my success as a broker and this is exactly how it was going to evolve and develop, that would be insane for me to suggest that. Because here's the deal: when I was intrigued by Dexter's business and I gained the motivation, I saw the opportunity for the moving aspect of it. So when I realized that if I want to pursue this, I got to find a way to do it. I knew I was going to have to change it. I knew I was going to have to modify it and customize it so I could scale it. Because look, I'm not a mover. I never was a mover. I'm never going to be a mover. I can't stand moving, but I sure do know a lot of people who do know how to move, do it the right way. They got strong backs. They're willing and able bodies. That's what I needed to leverage. So here's the irony. The irony is when I was meeting with some key people to bounce ideas off, get their feedback, get their insight to actually start this business, that's where we started. We developed a strategy to start as a delivery service, working out of a lot of different retail stores, facilities. And here's the irony. My whole goal was to get to doing move jobs because I saw how much money Dexter was making. I knew I just needed to do it different, and that's when we developed the Express Move strategy. The irony is last year, and I got my notes here, last year 35% of our revenue was delivery. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate. At this point in time in my business, we don't do small time delivery. So if you're looking to build a delivery business and the internet is flooded with delivery services, a whole wide variety of different platforms you can go join if you want to be an independent contractor. Come in as an independent contractor, ride your bike and go do some deliveries, drive your own car like an Uber car and get some deliveries and make your $5, $10, $15. We don't operate like that. As of right now and everything you're going to learn in my training material, everything is to find the sweet spot, and therefore I want a higher price point. So 35% of our revenue last year was from deliveries, and all of our deliveries totaled averaged $101.36, so just over $100. The irony is where 35% of our revenue was deliveries, 29% was express moves. Now, think about that. When I was motivated and I saw the opportunity to build this business, it was to go after the bigger ticket item, the express moves. The moves, I should say. We developed it into the express moves. So it was to go after the move jobs. Yet here it is, last year alone, we had more than 6% greater sales volume for deliveries. So we had 35% of our revenue last year was deliveries. And yet here it is years ago when I thought I was going to get into this business, the key focus, the big ticket item was going to be the move jobs. That was 29%. Now, a couple of key points. We've done over the years, especially in the early years when we were tweaking and figuring out the business model to see what works, to find those sweet spots. We've done some big move jobs. We've done move jobs that are $10,000 plus. We've done move jobs where our contractors were working there for 4 days, and so big houses, big residential areas, or some big office spaces. But here's the thing. Again, this is trial by error stuff that you completely get to avoid. Those sound awesome, but the problem is they bogged us down and slowed us down. That's what helped us develop the Express Moves strategy. We want to find those smaller move jobs that could be anywhere from 2 hours. Maybe someone's just moving stuff out of like a storage mall. Maybe someone's moving stuff into a storage mall. Maybe someone's only moving stuff in and out of a garage or something along those lines, or even part of a house, or they're just downsizing key things. So our move jobs could be anywhere from 2 hours to 4 to 6, 8 hours. But typically they're going to be smaller. So last year, 29% of our revenue was off express moves, and the average. So the average for delivery was 101.36. The average for express moves was 398 and some change. And I apologize, I don't remember the change. So let's say $400. So let's say our deliveries averaged $100, and our express moves was $400. So you're looking at a total of 64% of our business was the deliveries and express moves. Now, why is that important? Because that means that another 22% was from a different source of revenue. That 22%, that's a large chunk of your earning potential. 22% was for a third source of revenue. 11% was for another source of revenue. And I'm going to share all of this with you in that training material. You as a licensee, you're going to have access to all this. So we had 22% to one source of revenue, 11% for another source of revenue, and then 3% for another source of revenue. Now here's what's awesome about it. When you get all this material here, a lot of this marketing material, you're going to see a lot of this marketing material. In fact, I better not turn it around because maybe some of you guys are going to get some ideas. But when you get this marketing material, you're going to see where I'm talking about the 3%, the 11%. Now, which may not sound like any degree of significance right now, but that is pure significance, because when you see and learn this, all right, some of you, when you see this, when I reveal these strategies to you, some of you are going to laugh because you're going to see, it's comical. You just have to wait and see. Some of it is absolutely comical, how I'm into this and how we're making money, and now we're actually marketing it, because again, I see that if we did some other sources of revenue that I had no intention of getting into, absolute zero intention of getting into, and we're making 3%, 11%. Now the 22%, that's a good source of revenue, great source of revenue actually, that we're continuing to expand for sure. But the 3 and 11, that tells me this is something I didn't even plan on doing, and I'm making money with it. Well, I'm going to grow that. And so we're actively marketing it. So when you go through the training manual here has marketing material for what we do when we go to stores and we do a lot of deliveries and our express moves and stuff like that. But then the DVD and some of this other marketing material here, this goes into some of our other sources of revenue they're just phenomenal. So if my numbers show me that we got 3 and 11, that's 14%, and I got another 22% that I never even planned on making when I went into this business, there's huge opportunity there. That why would I not blow it up and push it as far as I possibly can? So when you get this material, you're going to see why my business is still growing. Even though we started, and I've mentioned this in several videos before, yeah, I started in 2012, but really heading in now that this is my 6th year of business, this really is my 3rd to 4th year of business. It really is, because those first two plus years, again, I already told you some of the mistakes that we were making, I shouldn't say mistakes, but things that we had to figure out and tweak, like those big move jobs. That's not the ideal scenario. It's not what we wanted to do, because it bogged us down. And we missed other opportunities, and we were taking ourselves away from what we really wanted to do. So, and what I wanted to build with contractors. So then here it is, I have all these other sources of revenues that have presented themselves, and they're exceptionally viable because contractors are coming to me. So some of the key benefits of this, and I hope this answers some of the questions, because I know a lot of you have been sending questions, especially if you've been corresponding with Lindsay. And again, I got a bunch of notes here, and I'm trying not to miss anything, but if I do, forgive me. But one of the obvious key benefits is obviously more money and new sources of revenue. The reason why we want Key as an established and credible established business owners is because we know that you want multiple sources of revenue. Why would you not? Everyone needs to have multiple sources of revenue, and you should want to make as much money as you possibly can. So huge benefit is, number one, leverage your existing business, your existing platform. I'm not telling you to sell it. I'm just saying in the future, if you ever sell your NEMT or your home care business, having this broker business, the two will not be commingled or conflict with one another. But I'm definitely going to show you how to make a lot more money, the whole new sources of revenue. Guaranteed profit margin. This is so, when I say it's guaranteed because you are getting paid first. All the money flows through you. When you study the training material, I'm even going to show you specifically how to compensate for it. Hey, I tell you to do direct deposit. So one of the key benefits to your contractors is you do direct deposit. So they always see all the time that they get, boom, they're getting hit my people get paid. They take the money out of my account on Thursdays. They get paid on Fridays. So every Friday, barring a holiday, they're getting paid. And man, they love it. I mean, I have contractors making between $3,000 and $4,000 a week. So let's say they're making $10,000 and $12,000 a month. For some of my independent contractors, some of them only work part-time. Some of them still have a full-time job, or some of them still, they go off and do their own business in other ways and other directions. But we serve as a foundational platform to them making money. They love it. And you follow my strategies, you're going to develop the exact same thing. And you're going to have contractors who in time, as you develop the relationship with them and they come to love you and they see the opportunity, they're going to see that, yeah, they're independent, they're autonomous, they can set their own schedule, but they see that you just continue to generate revenue from them because you are the astute, established business owner going out there and cultivating the opportunities and bringing them opportunities, and they're the ones who are solving the problems. They're going to love you, and you will, I promise you, you absolutely are going to see contractors who no longer they love the independence of their own business, but you're going to see them start to revert and push and direct key business through your network, because your network offers them, number one, stability, number two, increased revenue, number three, which is absolutely critical, is you ultimately serve as almost like an administrative assistant, because they can go to your websites and make reservations to create the work orders, or they can call your office to process the work orders over the phone, and then you assign the work orders to them. So for them, it's so much of you. I don't think you understand the level of help or the relief that you offer to some of these independent contractors of having to answer the phones, answer general questions. You alleviate them of all those burdens and hassles, or if ever there's an issue or a complaint, or just the time it takes to process a work order, take down someone's credit card information. We do that. We do that so they don't have to. They absolutely love it. And you're going to see the exact same way. And you're going to see how, like, for the direct deposit stuff, you're not paying for that. I'm going to explain everything to you so that you do not take money out of your pocket. Everything is guaranteed money, and you get paid first. Infinitely more flexibility. I didn't make up the word broker. And if I did make up the word broker, I wouldn't use the word broker, because I think broker sometimes has a negative connotation with it. I would prefer to use something analogous to a consultant. When you develop this business, you really are a type of business consultant, okay? Now, I've been a business consultant literally since 2004. I absolutely love it because I've worked with so many people. And I've learned so much and worked with so many people. I've had some awesome experiences. Some of them make me laugh hysterically. Other ones that are just so awesome because we've had some great victories, whether it's taking on Medicaid brokers or workers' comp brokers or others. I mean, I just love all that stuff. But here's the deal. Serving as a type of consultant gives you a high degree of flexibility. If you are coming from the transportation and home care business where you are a centralized business, you now have the luxury. With this system, you can take your business anywhere you want. The only reason why we limit people to one licensee per zip code is not to limit where you go and expand and grow your business. It's to limit the overall users. I mean, do I want a lot of users? Of course I do. But we need to protect our licensees. So I don't want to flood the market. Taking the NEMT business, for example, or the home care business, I work with many providers literally in the same neighborhood. Literally some of the same providers in the same neighborhood of the same market have purchased my material and or work with me one-on-one, et cetera, et cetera. We are not doing that with this licensee opportunity. So therefore, there has to be, the reason why this is a higher price point for this system is because we are limiting the number of licensees. But here's the deal. You serving as a broker slash consultant, you can go anywhere you want. You can travel anywhere you want, just like the luxury I have as a business consultant. And whatever you do, essentially, is a tax write-off. So when you travel anywhere, you do anything, you're on a reconnaissance mission. You're reconning opportunities for starting your business or for meeting with contractors. You have such a greater degree as serving as a broker slash business consultant. You have so much more flexibility and opportunity to venture off in different directions and whole new capacities than you do as a centralized business like a transportation or home care business. So again, here's something else, and I made this note. Someone was telling Lindsay, I'm not sure the exact context, but they said that it sounds like it was an older gentleman. He said that he was very excited about this opportunity. He said that he was going into his new and last chapter of his life in regards to business. So I don't know his exact age, but he was talking to Lindsay about how he's at the age now where he's really only going to start one more business, and that this is the business for him. Because for what I just mentioned, it's a much greater degree of flexibility. He'll be serving as more like a consultant. As a broker, he's going to be serving more as of a consultant, going out, meeting with people, developing relationships, cultivating opportunity, negotiating good deals for your customers as well as for your contractors. So again, you have to keep in mind and keep things in proper context. There's no assets here. Your network is your net worth. Okay, so I'll say it again. First of all, when you come into this, I'm not teaching you to come in as any type of an independent contractor. You're coming in as a licensee where you build your own network of independent contractors, and it could be as big and as far and wide as you want. So your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. So of my network and my net worth, last year, 35% of that net worth was comprised of deliveries. 29% was comprised of express moves. 22, 11, and 3 were from other sources of revenue. Do you think I did any of those? I never did a single delivery. I never did a single express move. In this specific business, I have no employees, not a single one. In fact, I will tell you this, and I do mention this in my DVD series. There's been 2 separate occasions where we've been provided, we've actually been solicited for opportunities. One of them was to provide a type of shuttle service, and another one was to provide what I would classify to be a type of courier service where we were doing a mail service. 6 days a week we would have done a mail service. But both of those would have had to have been by contract, and we would have had to at least have a handful of employees. I'm not against employees. I have employees unrelated to my broker business. I have employees. I have a lot of people that work for me in a lot of different capacities. I have a lot of contractors, I'm talking outside my broker business. So I'm not against employees, but in regards to my broker business, as of right now, I never pursued those 2 opportunities because I did a cost analysis, and at the end of the day, it wasn't in alignment with my current philosophy and strategy for my broker business. Therefore, at least for right now, they're on hold. I'm not going to pursue those opportunities because I'm not in a position right now where I feel it's advantageous for me to go off and get employees just to meet those contracts. Now, they bump those prices up higher, then I might change my tune. Or we somehow expand it in a different capacity, then I'm all for it. But as of right now, it's not there. I mention this to you because in your business, I leave that as an open-ended opportunity for you. I want you to follow my material, do exactly as I've done, and if you see opportunities to further maximize and take advantage of them, by all means, you do that. Reduce stress. Again, this kind of piggybacks off what this elderly gentleman said, where he said he's going to be building he's at the age where he's going to build one more business in his life, and this is going to be it. And I'm sure that the reduced stress, because he doesn't have the overhead burden, he doesn't have the robust employee workforce, the matching FICA, the employer taxation, and everything. He doesn't have all the vehicles and the maintenance. He doesn't have all that stuff. So the reduced stress is, I'm sure, a key component. You have to understand, here you are leveraging existing people and their businesses and their individual platforms and assets. So my contractors have their own vehicles. Most of them have box trucks. The ones who are doing the deliveries and express moves, they have box trucks. Some have enclosed trailers. But you are, another key thing is that in leveraging your contractors, you are exponentially going to grow your business. I'll say it again, you are going to exponentially grow your business, and this is going to happen. This is a classic example of where I say I started my business in 2012, yet even though it's been 6 years, I really look at my business as being in its third or fourth year, is because of when we brought on and we really started to cultivate our regional director model and implementation. Because having key regional directors who started out as contractors, but getting that advancement and putting more expectations and roles and responsibilities on them, yet still giving them a greater slice of the pie, giving them a commission of some of the contractors they're responsible for in the stores and the facilities. It's awesome, because this is where you start to see your business develop an increased layer of profitability and ease, because you'll see that regional directors now at this point in time, number one, they're going to continue to do work orders if they wish, but they're going to get a piece of all the work orders that some of their contractors who they're responsible for, whatever they do, they're going to get a piece of that. I mean, it's compounding success, it's compounding confidence. And again, are you going to promote all your contractors to regional directors? No, absolutely not. I mean, we need to have some good key people here. And you're going to see that they will, again, you got to select the right ones, of course. You'll see that they're going to want to go out there and cultivate new work orders through new businesses and new relationships with people. This is where your business really starts to cultivate and take on a life of its own. I don't want to use the word passive, even though I do, but you'll see that your business will inherit a degree of passive nature where, again, it's really going to take on a life of its own. It's phenomenal. I love it. So pay attention to it, because I'm going to go into detail talking about regional directors in the training material, and you're going to love it. Obviously, the other key benefit, I kind of mentioned this already, I got the cart ahead of the horse, is that the no overhead. You cannot ask for a better situation, because, again, with my business, the broker business, I literally have no assets. Again, your network is your net worth. So you're building a network, and you're cultivating your contractors, your contacts, your structure, your model, your policies. It's just phenomenal, because again, I love the saying, your network is your net worth. So the better you build, you diversify, you penetrate new markets, you're expanding your network, which is increasing your net worth. So this is very much a cash-rich, asset-poor business. If you're looking for, I know a lot of people, and I'm sure you do too. There's a lot of people out there who they hang their hat on. They love to brag. I got 100 employees. I got 200 employees. I got 50 vehicles. I got X number of this and X number of that. They love it. That really strokes their ego and their pride. You're not going to have that with this. You're not going to have that with this. This is all about how much money are you putting in the bank. Yeah, your biggest expense is still labor in the sense of contractors. And I pay my guys, I pay them generously. You know, again, going to the deliveries, my deliveries, they typically are going to get 70%. Some get a little bit more, some get a little bit less, depending on where they are, how long they've been with me. Express moves, I typically tend to bump that up more because express moves, they're typically going to have another 1 or 2 helpers. So I want them to be as happy as possible. You may pay less for a commission than me. That's entirely up to you. I want my people being happy. The way I make up for a lot of things are through some of the strategies I've already shared with you. Things like the customer surcharges, which are clutch, absolutely clutch. And then the other golden ticket for us, another one has been the hassle-free insurance, as I've shared with you before. The hassle-free insurance, awesome. And there's other ones I'm going to continue to share in the training material. And I mentioned the increased write-offs. And again, you are literally going to serve, as a broker, you're going to serve as a consultant, a negotiator. Wherever you go, there's opportunity. You should be able to write off anything you do. You should be able to write it off, relatively speaking. And I'm not encouraging you to do anything underhanded or anything, but you are legitimately traveling to assess opportunities, market opportunities, which means you have more travel expenses to write off. some things about who needs this business or who can benefit from this business. Any established business owner who's looking to diversify. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, it's because you are an established business owner, you're part of my network, and you're looking to make as much money as possible. You're looking to diversify in different directions. Yeah, you can continue to build your home care, your NEMT business. You can continue to grow those, and I want you to. I want you to have multiple sources of revenue. It will increase security for you as well as bring you more money. So new source of revenue. If you're an established business owner and you're looking to diversify, especially in a completely different direction, this is a great opportunity for you. If you are a business owner and you are actively looking for an opportunity that is deregulated, this is the opportunity for you because there is no regulation. So if you are dealing, if you're in the NEMT or home care business, or if you're dealing with DOT or Medicaid brokers or anything from the state, or even if you're in one of these deregulated states like Florida, Texas, even California, maybe you're not dealing directly through the state anymore through DOT or PUC. Maybe your biggest regulation is Medicaid. You know how dealing with Medicaid brokers can be. So if you're looking for a business model that is completely deregulated, this is it, especially if you build your business like me. Now, one thing I mentioned in previous videos, I am not now, nor do I ever foresee myself being a freight broker. If you want to be a freight broker, go online because there's YouTube videos for that. I have no desire to become a freight broker. There's several reasons, but one key reason I'll mention here because I'm talking about deregulation is you have to, even as a broker, because you're dealing with such large volumes of freight and you're dealing with big rigs, you actually, as a broker, have to go off and get insurance. I have no desire to do that. No desire to do that whatsoever. Business owners looking to stay at the forefront of a growing, changing, and ever evolving economy. I mentioned, and listen, I know I've shared a lot of videos, a lot of them long, a lot of them short. I know this one's running on the long side, but hey, this is good content, good stuff. But I know, hopefully you've watched a lot of the short videos I put out there. Those were all designed to just plant the seed so that you could start to see, as a visionary, how the economy is, yeah, it's changing. It's growing for sure, but it's changing. Go do some general searches to see about how the statistics are changing, how the economy is growing. And if you're smart out there, I'm sure you're making a lot of money in the economy, because I know I am. I'm making a lot of money in the market. Even when we had this recent dip, man, I was buying like a champ. It's a buyer's dream. I loved it. And you should be making a lot of money in the market right now. That's why you should love this economy. Awesome. But the dynamics of the economy themselves are changing. And a lot of these small businesses, even if for no other reason by default, are going away from the employee model. You should be doing the same. You should be absolutely doing the same. That's the beautiful thing about this broker business is you obviously don't have those employees. You don't have everything associated with employees and labor costs, things like that. You don't have that big, robust overhead burden hanging over your head. Hence the less stress, hence the more money in your pocket. So understand and again, I know in some of those videos I shared, it's a lot of different names. Gig economy, shared economy, contractor, freelancer economy, all these different names by all these different people, whatever. I don't care what they call it. All I know is this. Even if you go do some general searches, through multiple sources, verify everything with multiple sources. Don't take my word for it. Go verify and research on your own. You are going to see how the temporary workers are becoming more and more permanent, and is not necessarily by force. So much of it is strictly out of choice. So many workers want to be temporary, or they want the more freedom and flexibility to make their own choices to work for multiple people and do what they want. And again, you are going to have contractors who are going to work for you and still do their own things on the side, doing their own things. And that's fine, as long as it doesn't undermine what you're doing as a broker. It doesn't conflict with your clients. They don't try to backdoor you. And I'm going to go into great detail talking about that in this material, because you need to be on guard for that. Hey, by all means, you, John Doe contractor, I'm going to give you a lot of business, and that's great. If I find out you're backdooring me, we got problems. I want you to do your own thing, but you do not backdoor or undermine what we're doing here with our customers. So I want you, if you are a a visionary entrepreneur and you see that the economy is changing, the dynamics of it are changing, you need to stay at the forefront. And again, I know you've probably seen all the videos where I shared everything from the Uber and the Lyft and the technologies and the yada, 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 yada. And again, I'm going to be honest with you. I would love to claim credit and say in 2011, when I was first laying the foundation for this business for starting in 2012, I would love to take all the credit in the world and look like an absolute genius and tell you, oh man, this is all by design. This is exactly how my plan, man, I executed my plan perfectly. I'd be bold-faced lying to you, because here it is in 2011, 2012, when I was researching and starting this broker business. Do you think that here it is, I was going to be, evaluating what the technology was going to be changing, everything from the Ubers and the Lyft, all these other platforms and services, and then the temp economy and the gig and the shared economy. I had no concept of that. But this is where God just opens up the doors and presents you with the right opportunities at the right time, because here it is, by building this business, by figuring things out with those first couple years, I was just being groomed and prepared for this great opportunity that now here it is, I'm sharing it with you. And it's phenomenal. I absolutely love it. So if you are an experienced entrepreneur and you see the opportunity, you see that the economy and the opportunities are changing, you're being a smarter, wiser visionary than I was several years ago. If you are, this is a great opportunity for you. Again, I mentioned, and I hate using the word, but there really is a high degree of passivity with this business model once it gets going. Now, don't get me wrong, in the very beginning, are you going to be able to just lay back and maybe call a couple of contractors, see if they want to come join your network? No, of course not. You need to be working at it. But again, once if you just get a few key contractors, just like when you're starting your business, in starting your existing business, the hardest thing was to get the first handful of clients. The hardest part was to get the first good key, reliable employees. But then I always call it, then the floodgates start to break. So the hardest part is getting going, getting started. But then as it builds and builds and snowballs and compounding success, then all of a sudden the floodgates break. And that's exactly what's going to happen with this business. For many of you who are watching this video, I've worked with you one-on-one in your NEMT or home care business. We've talked about getting the floodgates to break. It's the hardest part is just getting started, and it builds momentum, builds mass, and then boom, all of a sudden it all culminates and comes together, and as the cracks gain pressure, and boom, the whole thing just explodes. I absolutely promise you, the same thing is going to happen with your broker business. Once you get the floodgates to break, it's going to be colossal. That's exactly what happened in my business. So again, I want to offer some more feedback based on some of these notes here. Because again, I know a lot of you have been corresponding with Lindsay, as she's been the point of contact, the lead contact for communication regarding the licensees. Someone sent us an email. They said they don't like my negative tone. I'm not exactly sure what the negative tone was, but I apologize for not apologizing, because I don't apologize for what I said. Because I'm not exactly sure where I was negative, but regardless, especially if you've worked with me in the past, you know that I'm going to be blatantly honest with you and hit you right between the eyes with a dose of reality. I'm not one of those people that's going to massage your neck and rub your back and rub your tummy and tell you it's okay and keep doing whatever you're doing. I'm not one of those people. If you're doing something wrong, I'm going to tell you. Okay, again, I've done enough wrong. I've made enough mistakes, whether it was my NEMT business or early on in my broker business where I made mistakes and I didn't see things. I've made all the costly mistakes, so you don't have to. So if I see you headed down the wrong path, I most certainly am going to tell you. So maybe I was firm on someone. So I apologize for not apologizing for any negative tone I had. At this point in time, I hope you're not a snowflake or you're that fragile. You shouldn't care about tone. You should care about content. Absolutely care about content. Someone else said they are not interested in the delivery business. Awesome. That's great news, because guess what? Neither am I. 35% of my business last year was by delivery. I've never done one single delivery. That's the key difference. That is the key difference. Hey, not every business is for everybody. I get that. Just because there's an opportunity out there doesn't mean it's the opportunity for you. But again, what's the future hold? Go online and look how everything, how are all these technologies with their billions and billions and billions of dollars being invested in technology, is all for delivery. In one way or another, it's a delivery platform. One way or another, it's a delivery platform. Whether you're delivering higher ticket items like we are, you're delivering smaller ticket items, whether it's Amazon who's trying to do the what do you call them, the aerial stuff, they're dropping stuff down, and the UAVs and everything. Hey, that's awesome stuff. Like now, and all these networks and platforms to have same day, 24, 48 hours, that's what we want to leverage, because that is the future. So if someone said they're not interested because they're not in the delivery business, well, good, you shouldn't be, because neither am I. I'm not asking you or encouraging you to go and become an independent contractor and start delivering. But how many I have an army of contractors who do deliveries for me. I'm not doing deliveries, but I sure do know how to run a delivery service, because we have a great delivery platform, great delivery mechanism, and that's what you're going to leverage. So stay in front of the technology. Again, I'd love to claim credit. That's it. That's why I know, and you know, I encourage you, if you need a business plan, you always have a business plan. If you're going for financing, you need a business plan. If you're going to have good, if you're in need of certain types of strategic partnerships, you may need those business plans. But other than that, like if you bought the MDT business plan or the home care plan, I tell you open and up front, I hate business plans. I really do, because no one ever follows them. If I had a business plan for my broker business, it would have been as worthless as toilet paper, because I strayed so far. Where I thought we were going to go into all these moves, and yet 35% as compared to 29% were deliveries. And the deliveries is the feeder into all these other sources of revenue, where we got 22%, 11%, and 3%, and we're going to grow those phenomenally. We're in the process of growing those, because we're still in the elementary stages of growing this opportunity. So what does technology tell you? It's not so much about what you want. It's what is technology? What are they demanding? And it's about, again, there's opportunity out there. All you have to do is solve the problem. Someone said they're not going to invest blindly without a return on investment. Well, I can't tell you what you're going to make. I don't know anything about you. Are you going to be one of these people? One of the biggest problems people have is procrastination. And I'm not saying you could be one of the most motivated people. I don't know. I'm not sure who sent this, but someone said they're not going to invest blindly without not knowing their return on investment. Hey man, I don't know anything about your market. You may not. I'm going to share with you right now 5 opportunities right now in this training material, and I allude to others that are coming because we have new opportunities that are presenting themselves. So there's more opportunities there, but you may not. You may choose not to use all these opportunities. Maybe you're just going to only focus on the moves or deliveries or some of these other opportunities that I'm going to share in the training material. That's entirely up to you. So I can't tell you what your return on investment is going to be. If you go purchase a franchise out there, they can give you some general statistics, but I mean, franchises go out of business because I don't know how they're managed or mismanaged or in the wrong market. I don't know. So if someone's offended, maybe that's what it was. Someone's offended because I'm not giving them, I can't tell them the return on investment. That's NNP, not my problem. All I would tell you is if you are, look, if you're not optimistic, then honestly, all you're going to find yourself is a missed opportunity. So it doesn't matter if you're presented with this or something else. I mean, you should go into it with do your research, get as much information as possible, as long as it's a viable opportunity, as long as it's legit, as long as it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. But you need to be optimistic. And if you're a hustler, if you're a worker, if you're motivated, then then why would you even worry about it? Someone also asked questions about contractors. I guess they came from a trucking industry or a trucking background. I don't know if they're still in it or not, but someone had questions about the difference between, I think they mentioned difficulty in finding contractors for their trucking business, and they're trying to draw the correlation between the trucking industry and what we do as brokers. And Lindsay said something to the effect of, and rightfully so, that one of the key benefits is this is more of, you're going to find contractors who are going to work more local, and that's definitely a key benefit. I can only imagine. Now, I'm not in the trucking business. I've never been in the trucking business. Again, I'm not a freight broker. I'm never going to be a freight broker. So I could see where there would be more difficulty in finding people to travel, long distances, several states, overnights, things like that. Everything we do, again, we operate in 5 states, but everything we do, we still keep it centralized in terms of, we're in 5 states, and we have different websites for different areas and different markets and different customized marketing material, things along those lines. But we really don't, most of our guys who are doing deliveries, they may travel, they're going to be gone down and back at the longest, they may have a long delivery, but they're back on the same day. So they're not doing overnight stuff. They're not doing anything crazy. So, but that's going to be that's not the norm. That's not the norm. That would definitely be an outlier. But most everything that we do, high majority, and now that I'm thinking about it, I should pull up some statistics to see what more we do, and what mileage overall. But the high majority in the 5 states and the key markets that we work in, everything is more local. So I would hazard to bet, and I think Lindsay alluded this to you, is finding contractors to do that is a lot more easy and a lot more feasible than, and I'm speculating, than to find people with big rigs and big trucks doing all the hauling, interstate, and all that kind of good stuff. Another thing I'll mention to you is this too, is that if you have employees in your business, there is a difference. Yeah, is it hard to sometimes find good key employees? Yes, absolutely. Can it be hard to find good key contractors? Yes, absolutely. But I will tell you a couple of key things. Number one, you can help employees. And your employees, if they're good and they love you, you can help them. And you help them by giving them a job, giving them stability, giving them good equipment to work with, good opportunity, that type of deal. I would argue this though, you can, depending on the person, depending on the circumstances, you can have a greater impact on your contractors. So you as someone who's giving back and helping other people, I will tell you this, you will have a greater impact on contractors than you would employees. And here's how I would distinguish the difference. Again, employees, you can help them. Contractors, you truly impact them. Case in point, I have contractors who are making $3,500, $4,000 a month, making $10, $11, $12,000. I'm sorry, I give them $3,000 to $4,000 a week, making the $10, $11, $12 plus $1,000 a month. So I would hazard to bet in your current business, you probably aren't paying your employees that much money. But that's how much some of my contractors are making. And I got some contractors out there, and I got some of them who are awesome, highly motivated. They're the ones who bring ideas to me. This is how we developed some of our other sources of revenue here that are at 3 and 11%. Those are ideas that are spawned out of what contractors bring to me, because, man, you show them how to make $10,000, they want to find a way to make $20,000. And I got some motivated people. I think which, again, I'm sure you're going to find some lazy contractors. We have two. But I think overall, I'm making a gross generalization. In my experience, between at one point in time employing 50 employees to now having 50 contractors, it's a matter of the contractors tend to be more motivated because there's more of a feast versus famine type philosophy. Because contractors still look at it as it's their business. Yeah, they're working with us. We feed them a lot of work. We help direct them. But they still look at it, this is their business. They're building their business because they also have the ability to go off and do their own thing on the side, and that's fine. So they tend to understand if they're not working, there's a feast versus famine. Versus employees, they know they're going to clock in, clock out, collect their paycheck, and just roll home. So there is a big difference. You can definitely help employees. You as a business owner, you as a leader, you can help employees. But you can significantly impact your contractors. And it's exciting. It's a great opportunity. Someone asked a question about where I'm shooting my videos from, so I don't know under what context that was. I'm in my home. So you know how most men have man caves? I have man floor. Okay, so this is down here. This entire downstairs is mine. This is my man cave. Over there is my office. I got a big kid. Believe it or not, even though my last name is Davis, I'm half Italian. So because I'm half Italian and I'm a fat man, I love good food. I have to have a second kitchen. So I got a kitchen back over there. I got a second master bedroom. My wife and I, our master bedroom is upstairs. I got one down here. So when the fat man is tired and needs to nappeth in the afternooneth, the fat man nappeth in his own master bedroom over here. Then I got my gym back there. So sometimes when my team when I bring my team in here, if we do our little powwows or little meetings, sometimes we'll meet there. We'll meet in my office, but. I'm not sure how that question came up about where I'm shooting my video. So this backdrop isn't fake. This is actually my downstairs man cave. So however that question came up, I hope I satisfied it. So listen, I know that this video has been long, and it's been a long day for me because I had a great lengthy conference call with Lindsay today. And again, I congratulate all of you who have been engaging in this opportunity. I would congratulate all of you who've become licensees. That's awesome. For those of you who've been teetering back and forth and you've been corresponding with Lindsay, that's awesome. I encourage you to continue to do that. Don't procrastinate. Don't procrastinate. Key reason is this. If you are watching this video right now because you are in my network, you've been a part of the $1 Million Transportation community. So we have, and I mentioned this before, we have our silent launch. This is all part of our silent launch. So our silent launch is going to go all the way up till June 30th. And if you think that's a long way off, it's going to go by fast. So the silent launch is going to end June 30th. And I encourage you, don't wait till the very end, because every month the price goes up, obviously. But then come July 1, the price, the whole package goes up 50%. That's where Lindsay and the entire attorneys and all of them, they're going to offer this business opportunity, this broker business. They're going to offer it to all their licensees. Now all their franchisees. Lindsay and their team, they do a great job. They've worked with a wide variety of popular franchise companies. That's why this licensee opportunity is somewhat structured like a franchise, but it is a license opportunity. In fact, I encourage you, if you've ever thought about investing in any type of a franchise, go Google and make a list and see what all is involved, where all the restrictions that you have to comply with a franchise, and then most importantly, look at the cost. Even if you were going to go do a simple franchise, here's a good one. Even if you were going to do, like, I know everyone's probably familiar with that 2 Men in a Truck, I think it's called, and I know that's a franchise. Go look and see how much that is. And you got to purchase, not only do you have to comply with all their stuff, and you got to purchase trucks and assets and everything, but look at the price just to get in. So if you've ever thought about starting a franchise or any other type of business similar to this, go look at the cost. So if you're someone where you are concerned about the cost of this, or if you're someone that says you don't invest blindly without a return on investment, or whatever all this other, pessimistic attitudes are, go compare this to any other type of franchise and look how much, not only the cost to get in, the cost to apply, the annual cost, then look at the startup costs that you still have to come up with. And then do a case-by-case evaluation and compare it to this. Doesn't even compare. Doesn't even compare. So anyways, getting back on track. After this silent launch come July 1, then we go to the exclusive launch, where my attorneys are going to advertise this and offer it to all of their franchisees and everyone else in their networks that they've been in business for a long time. Then come October is when we are going to go quote unquote public. That's where you're going to see us. If you don't, by all means, you could join this opportunity, youarethebroker.com, whenever you want. Just understand, the more you procrastinate, the longer you wait, the more you're going to pay, obviously. Part of our agreement going is my people, because look, this is my business first. This is my brainchild. This is my little baby. This is my little boo. So my people get first dibs at it. After the silent launch, price goes up 50%. Now the attorneys, they offer it to their people. And then after that, once they've exhausted their network, come October, that's when we're going to go public, and you'll start seeing this all over the Facebooks and the LinkedIn and the YouTubes and all the different social media and stuff that's awesome. I personally don't do it all because I don't have the patience, nor do I really care for all that stuff, but that's where they have their own professional marketing team, and that's where a lot of money is going to be allocated to it, and that's where they're going to be doing it. And therefore, you're going to see a lot of the youarethebroker.com. Down the road, you're going to see it on LinkedIn and the Facebook and all that kind of good stuff, and that's when you're going to see this thing blow up. So the sooner you get in, not only will you save more money, we are only having one licensee per zip code. So especially if you're in a key market, you want to take advantage of that now. Save money. Don't procrastinate. Save money, because then you want to get it sooner rather than later, so you can avoid missing the opportunity in the exclusive and then the public launch. So listen, I apologize, even though I don't. I apologize for this long video, even though I don't apologize. I hope that you have at least enjoyed the content of this long video that I'm apologizing for, even though I'm not apologizing for it. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope if you haven't been opening up your emails before and just open it now and you're getting this, take advantage and move sooner rather than later. Don't be a pessimist or a hater. Take full advantage and don't procrastinate. And when you move forward with this opportunity, I can guarantee and assure you, I'm going to see you at the top.